Hello everyone, my name is CantDoGames and welcome back to the weird news. Today we have a conspiracy theory that the Titanic didn't actually sink, and also the new sports that involves slapping each other as hard as you can to the point where you don't even get a chance to slap back. Is it a fair sports? I don't think it is. But yeah, that's all to come in today's weird news. I hope you stick around. I hope you enjoy. And let's get into this.
Oh, wow!
Conspiracy theory claiming that the Titanic never sank is blowing people's minds. Where did it go then? And what about the evidence of the Titanic actually is under the ocean right now and we've been down there and we've documented it? I don't understand why this person is saying that it never sunk. So it was all a lie? You know, was it all conspiracy? Was it all a scam just to get rich? I wouldn't really think the old lady that survived would have appreciate this. I'm just saying. On 15th of April 1912, the Titanic sank after striking an iceberg in the Atlantic Ocean. Except, did it really? Well, yeah, it did.
Since you asked, I will deliver. I was a Titanic kid, meaning that I literally knew every single fact about the Titanic. Like, my ass would sit and watch documentaries for hours and hours and hours. But when I heard this theory, everything, like it made sense.
Well, it makes sense anyways. The Titanic got hit by an iceberg. It was damaged. There were some other things wrong with it too. Whoopee-doo. You're not a Titanic kid. You just like the movie. You're a fan. That's all. I'm
going to talk fast. Just try and keep up if you can. Basically, White Star Line, super important ship company, they built 3 super notable ships. We have the Titanic, the Olympic, and the Britannic.
Yeah.
The Britannic was the first to go. It was a warship, and people say it was struck by like a landmine in the water, but no, it wasn't. It was struck by a torpedo by a German U-boat, and it sank. As you can see, she resembles the Titanic, just like different colors. And yeah, you can see where it was hit. And then we have the Olympic and the Titanic. They look identical. Yeah. The Olympic was on the water for a while. Like, she was reaching retirement, and they knew that, and they were like, well, it was a lot of money to make the Titanic. It was a lot of money to make the Titanic, and it's going to be even more money to repair the Olympic. So what if we just sent the Olympic out instead, sank that, claimed some insurance money, and then just scrapped the Titanic like it was the Olympic for some spare parts? Nobody knows what the interior of the Titanic looked like except for the people who built it. So it would have been easy. It would have been easy to flip it, because the interiors were different, but who would have known? No one would have known. Also,
the people on the Titanic would fucking know. And the ones who were on the Olympic, they would fucking know. The poor souls that lost their lives would have fucking known. You weren't even born, so how the fuck do you know?
So many important people were supposed to get on the Titanic, but they canceled their tickets mysteriously right before they got on, right before it set off to sea. Important people was JP Morgan. Yeah, like the banker dude. Yeah.
Who?
And he was like, I'm not gonna get on. Just don't feel like it. Girl, why? And another.
Because maybe he just didn't want to go across seas with, maybe because back then there was bits of civil war going on and piracy. So maybe he just didn't want to get robbed or took hostage on a big boat full of rich people.
Other person was Milton Hershey himself, like Hershey's Kisses, yeah, he was supposed to get on the boat. Who? And he was like, no thanks. Were they told not to?
Well, they probably weren't no darling, I'm not going on that. They weren't doing it with sass. They were probably like, oh, I am not going on that boat. It is a death trap.
Because they knew it was gonna. Anyways, the icing on the goddamn cake was that the Titanic was built, notably, the way you could tell the difference between the two of them was that the Titanic had 14 portholes on the side of it. Cute. And the Olympic had 16. Well, magically, by the grace of God, by the grace of Jesus, the Titanic had 16 portholes on the side of it.
What does Jesus have anything to do with this? By the grace of Jesus, the Titanic did sink. What? I had a few little thoughts. I looked a bit more into it, sort of she has any other videos on it, and she does, of course. And it's saying stuff about it was money fraud, you know how they get money back for damages and all that, insurance, ain't it? So it's what would the captain have known and that, and when they saw the iceberg, they were just see that meme with Anakin and thingy when they're like doing that question like, you're not going to do it, right? Just imagine that, like, iceberg, Captain. We got to avoid it, right? No. You need to, we should avoid it, right? Okay. There's kids as well on there, and you're saying that people, I know people can be very dark and evil when it comes to money, but that many people for insurance fraud, it's a bit of a stretch. Love, I think you've got a few portholes in your head. It's a interesting theory. Like, I love conspiracy theories, but I don't take them. I take them with a grain of salt. But there has been so many documentaries and there's so much evidence that it was the Titanic because it was written on it, Titanic, and the Britannic had its name on it, and so did the Olympic. They had their names on it. That's how you could tell the difference as well, not just because how it looked. And you know, there was only a few. There was only, of course, there was a few survivors, but of course they died. And the only longest survivor was the woman, of course, but she's now gone. So you're just trying to say that, oh, all the story that she told, and then all the movies and documentaries made, are all just lies. But where is the fucking Titanic then? If it was the Olympic or the Britannic that sunk, and they just thought we'll just use that as an example, where did all these people go? All the ones that died. There's holes in your theory, big holes, like missing people, all that. You're just saying why people didn't get on it. Well, if you're saying it wasn't the Titanic, maybe that's why people didn't get on it, because they looked at it and went, well, that ain't the Titanic, what's going on that? What's this? You got a lot of plot holes there, my love, I'm just saying. But people are starting to doubt that after watching a video by TikToker at MiaW22, who claims it wasn't actually a Titanic that met its unfortunate end more than 100 years ago. In the clip, the TikToker correctly explains that the Titanic was built in 1912 by the manufacturer White Star Lines, which has also responded with dozens of other ships, including the Olympic, built in the 1911s, and the Britannic, built in the 1914s. Mia describes how the Olympic and the Titanic looked identical, and to be fair, they do look pretty similar, with their four large chimneys and black and white exterior. However, she claims no one apart from the builders knew what the ship looked like inside, and therefore wouldn't know from the inside whether they were on the Titanic or not. According to Mia's theory, White Star Lines relied on the lack of knowledge about the interior to trick the entire world, purposely sink a ship, killing hundreds of people in the process, and claimed some insurance money. Sounds like a stretch. That's because it is. Yeah, they thought, alright, we'll sacrifice all these people, all these rich people as well that are like, you know, famous and all that as well, because famous people went on it, just to get some money back. There's going to be a big backlash if that was true. The story would be a lot fucking different we would hear. So there's too many holes in the theory. It's too many. It was a lot of money to make the Titanic, and got to be even more money to repair the Olympic. So what if we sent the Olympic instead? Sank the hoe, claims the insurance money, and then just scrap the Olympic like it was the Titanic for some spare parts. In case you didn't read or hear that correctly, allow me to explain. This theory suggests White Star Line posed the Olympic as the Titanic for a fateful trip across the Atlantic. But let's continue, because the theory doesn't stop there. Mia suggested that there were some people who knew that the ship was going to sink, including banker J.P. Morgan and chocolatier Milton Hesse, both who cancelled their trips on the Titanic. She also points to the image of the purports to be the Titanic, but argues that the ship features have the same numbers of portholes as the Olympic, not the Titanic. It's far-fetched to say that, at least, but obviously hasn't stopped people being gripped by the theory. Responding to Mia's video, one viewer wrote, I'm not doing any other research. I'm just going to believe this wholeheartedly. Well, you're an idiot if you want to believe one person's theory over everything else. Okay. Another comment. She said what she said, and I believe it. So is it really Titanic at the bottom of the Atlantic? Yes. The Titanic is at the bottom of the Atlantic. We've had a documentary, we've had evidence, and we do know what it looks like inside, because they have they've actually, somewhere in America, I can't remember where it is exactly, but they've actually reconstructed all They've reconstructed all of it. Like, all of the interior and all that to have like a museum as a memorial site for the Titanic. Saying that only the builders knew. Well, no. You got the builders, you got the workers, you got the captain, you got the helmsman, the sailors. They're gonna know, of course. The janitors, they're gonna know. They need to know. There's just too many too many holes in your theory, love. And you just say that you're a Titanic kid. It's like, well, you're not. You would be a lot older if you were, and you probably wouldn't even be here. Just so you know. Alright, well, from strange theories that are very, very stretched, to a woman that brutally landed a slap at a slapping competition and literally knocked the opponent out. There's like a new thing going around. There's like, been another one, like a man got brutally deformed from doing slap challenges, and it's like they literally just stand there and just slap each other, and it's just like, why? I know it's a challenge, but it's like, who's got the best pimp slap, really? That's what I think. A woman competing in the bizarre new sports league was completely flooded after being slapped square in the face. Okay, so let's have a watch of this video, see how crazy it was. Oh! You alright? That was so fast. Fucking hell, just look at that. Oh! Ah! Imagine, fuck. She just flopped. Okay, I can see why people are interested now in this league, in this sports. Fuck. Oh my god, Jesus, power in that. Just So the woman who actually did the slapping clearly wasn't messing around, and that actually the entire premise of the new sporting endeavour from the UFC. So basically, you get two contestants together, then have them take turns at slapping one another as hard as they can across the mush. It's a simple sport, but it has already attracted quite a lot of criticism from people within combat sports as well as neurologists. Oh, really? The above video gives you an idea of why. Yeah, fuck. Oh, it's like when you watch, it's like, imagine getting out of slow-mo like a proper face. Oh, not blue. Jesus. One of the key factors in these sports, like MMA and boxing, is that you are supposed to defend yourself at all times. Hell, Chris Inbank Jr. got totally sparked out by Liam Smith last night, as he still got up to keep fighting because the instinct to keep himself in the fight was so strong. Well, yeah, instinct. No. However, in the Power Slap League, you quite literally have to turn your cheek and let your opponent wallop you in the face. That can't be good for you, particularly if you are receiving a slap from Shirana Bathory. Bathory was facing Courtney Oslan in a match watched by White and among others. Billed as the road to the title, the event in Las Vegas is one of the first the new league has had, and raised some serious questions. After taking her opponent's slap, Beverly wound up on her own, absolutely laying out her opponent. Yeah, just knocked her out, just gone. She received medical attention, but the fight was stopped by Bavin was handed the victory in the lightweight bout. That wasn't a lightweight slap, that was full body strength, all weight strength. Fuck, don't piss that woman off. Oh. It's scenes like this that appear to have given some of the medical people who have watched it pause for thoughts. Chris Nowishki, who is an ex-wrestler and CEO of the Conclusive Legacy Foundation, said that the footage emerging from the Power Slap League is so sad, and it is. It's like they're just doing it for people to get reactions out of, and they're calling it a sport. I remember it was just like a normal little fun thing to do, like slap. You remember the game Slappies? So you'd out with your friends and, you know, that. I never understood that. And if like you dodged before, they could just go smack. Yeah, that was a dangerous game. Tagging the company, he wrote, "You should be ashamed. Pure exploration. What's next? Who can survive a stabbing?" You never know. The world is turning into something like that. Professional boxer Ryan Garcia has also spoken out about the new league, tweeting, "Power slaps is a horrible idea and needs to be stopped. Still, people are talking about it and it's got some decent money and high profit endorsements behind it. So perhaps this is just the start of Power Slap League." I guess you could go on it and like, I don't know, you let off some steam, but to just it's not really a sport because you're letting that person beat you. I don't know. I'm not really a person when it comes to sports or anything like that. But sports is supposed to be a competitive thing. So just sitting there and letting yourself get whammed on before you even get a chance to actually do anything back, it's kind of destroying the whole concept of competitions. Because you're supposed to have like 2 or more people fighting against each other. But if only one of you is doing something and the other one is just hasn't done anything yet and loses because of that, it's a bit unfair, isn't it? Jesus Christ, that slap blow. Alright, well, that was today's weird news, guys. Bit of a strange one. Let me know your thoughts on this conspiracy theory about the Titanic not actually sinking, and your thoughts on the Power Slap League sports. Yeah. Anyways, don't forget to leave a like, and leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next weird news. Ciao.